Just ahead on First Look Asia, the Muslim market on travel is estimated to grow to over 200 billion US dollars by 2020. We discuss this rising trend after the break. Welcome back to First Look Asia on this Thursday morning. Tourism is one of the fast expanding sectors of the global economy. And within this lucrative business is halal tourism.
According to a global travel index done by MasterCard and Crescent Rating, the Muslim market for travel is estimated to grow to over 200 billion US dollars by 2020.
To discuss this rising trend, we have Mikhail Goh, co-founder of Have Halal Will Travel, and Aaron Hung, TripAdvisor Senior Director of Partnerships Asia Pacific.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Morning.
Morning. Mikhail, let's start with you. Yeah, tell us what exactly is halal tourism?
I think halal tourism specifically refers to Muslim travelers. So Muslim travelers behave very differently from any other segment, like for the Chinese market or solo travelers and so on. So as a Muslim myself, when I travel, there are a lot more considerations. Like for example, when I go to Korea, I have to figure out, what food there is there, halal food specifically, and where can I perform my obligatory prayer. And because of these considerations, it's a very different market.
So why do you think, Aaron, then there's such a boom for this halal tourism?
Well, similar to the rest of the world, the increasing affluence, the younger generation is coming into traveling. There is much easier access to travel information, especially online. We're seeing that 70% of the decision on destination is going to be made from online. So we're going to continue to see that growing.
Now, Muslim travelers, are they looking for different sorts of experiences as well? Is there something they're after in particular?
I think, just like, Aaron would probably say the same, and we're discovering, that they're just like any other traveler, just have added considerations. So they're increasingly traveling to places like Iceland, and more wanderlusty places.
Wanderlusty, I like that.
So
Wanderlusty.
Aaron would probably say the same.
Yeah, Aaron, what are some of these top destinations? Like here, Japan is very popular. Why is that?
Yeah, we're looking at the Muslim travelers from Southeast Asian countries. We're finding that the interest in a few countries have really increased. In Japan, well, the Japanese government wants to increase the visitor arrivals. They want to double that in the next 4 years to 40 million. So a lot of that is coming from the Muslim markets also. Well, what's not to like about places like Tokyo and Osaka? When we go to places like Shinjuku, there's great food. And there's also a lot of prayer facilities, the easy access to prayer facilities all across Osaka.
Yeah, it's also very silly for countries to ignore this because you're looking at multi-billion-dollar revenue coming through from the Muslim market.
Yes, it is. So basically, from what we realized from our publication, and also our apps and things like Have Halal Travel, what we realized that many other Muslims are actually traveling to Korea. It's in line with the K-pop culture and things like that. In fact, if you go down Myeongdong, you can just look there and this is all these Muslim travelers, enjoying the culture, enjoying the food and things like that.
Okay, let's go off the beaten track. So Japan, Korea, what are the other emerging destinations? Aaron?
Another emerging destination, Taiwan. Taiwan is doing really well. We've seen an increase of 20% of interest year on year from our Muslim country users. In Taipei, the Ximending has a number of halal eateries. They have prayer facilities, easily accessible. In Taiwan, there's actually over 100 restaurants that are halal certified, and the government has given themselves the target to move that to 200 in the near future. So lots and lots of things to see and eat and do.
What about you, Mikhail? Any emerging destination then?
My top pick would be probably Maldives.
Maldives.
Wow.
Yes, it's a very interesting thing. So a lot of people don't really know that Maldives is actually a Muslim country.
Yes.
So I just came back from Maldives. So I know that on all major islands there is a mosque, and it's already the staff there.
You mean the atolls?
Yeah, the atolls.
They actually have a mosque there.
Yeah, you got staff who are Muslims.
Muslim, right?
And it's very easier to get there right now. Cheaper, the Air Asia just had a flight for 400 ringgit.
You can fly there direct from Tiger as well.
And I think the industry is booming because there is a whole middle section. You don't have to pay your super high end hotels and things like that. Just like resorts coming out that are more affordable.
Very nice.
Now, we've got people traveling to Taiwan, people traveling to Maldives. But some people are also attracted to Singapore.
Yes, interestingly, Singapore is the only non-Muslim country that is on the top 10 list for Muslim travelers. But it's no surprise, really.
Yeah.
Singapore is a country that is very, very comfortable with the Muslim
Multi-religious as
population
well.
and accessibility for facilities, food and prayer facilities. So it's natural.
And do people do multiple destinations as well when they travel? Like you were saying,
stopovers
do they
around the
also
region.
just not only come to Singapore, but they hop across to Malaysia,
Kong
to
or-
Hong Kong, and
yeah.
then come back to Singapore and then fly back to their main home?
Yeah, for sure. A lot of why Singapore is so popular, partly because it's so accessible. For Southeast Asian Muslim countries, a lot of air connectivity is so good. So a lot of people would come here, maybe then they go on to either go to Europe or then go to Australia and so on.
Oh, my wanderlusty bug is biting me now. Mikhail, why did you start, why have Halal will travel?
Okay, so it's quite a curious story. So in 2013, I was actually part of an exchange program
Right.
to Seoul in Korea. So I was there with my co-founders. Then when we were there, we thought that, it would be very easy to find, halal food. And to my horror, we couldn't find anything substantial. So you had fragmented across different little blogs, and you weren't sure whether you wanted to make the 40-minute trip down.
Right.
So when we set on the idea for 2 years, in 2015 we decided, okay, we're going to do something. And then curiously, we met another gentleman, James Sundram. So he was the ex-MD of Property Guru, and he said, Melvin, you're writing all these articles, you're getting this traction. What are you actually doing? So then a single realization came when, the Paris bombing incident, and we realized that, when we encourage Muslims to travel, there is more interaction between Muslims and non-Muslims. And from there, peace can truly happen through travel. And that's the whole point about HHWT, have halal travel.
When you have so many websites to choose from as well, do they now have particular websites? Do you have your own website that caters? So you cater for both Muslim and non-Muslim. So you just have to do a click and then you get different preferences or different sort of places of interest to go to?
For us, we're looking only at the Muslim travel market because they behave, like I mentioned just now,
Yeah,
mentioned very
specifics.
differently, But of course, there are things that are very universal, like attractions, and that doesn't have to be like Muslim or non-Muslim.
Right.
So with TripAdvisor as well, do you see people wanting those sorts of special buttons to press
Demarcation,
to show that, look, we're a Muslim traveler, we want certain
Want the
options and we know
halal
straight away
options and whatnot,
what we can look forward to?
Yes, certainly. Well, TripAdvisor has a lot of information with 7 million listings of hotels, attractions, and restaurants, and so on. So many Muslim travelers come and actually specifically ask questions to the hotels. They found a hotel that they like, fits the budget, in the right location. Then in the page, I've seen them asking questions to the hotel. Do you have facilities? Do you have halal dining options, and so on? And there are also forums. The forums that if you go into our forum pages, you search Muslim travel, I've seen a lot of questions asking, where can I dine in London? Where can I dine in Tokyo? And so on.
Thank you very
This
much.
market is just going to continue growing and
200
growing and
billion
growing.
by
2020. More than that,
Wow.
actually.
Okay.
Well, we've been speaking with Mikhail Go, co-founder of Have Halal Will Travel, as well as Aaron Hung, TripAdvisor's Senior Director of Partnerships Asia Pacific.